Rewritten script. I didn't clock in that morning. I walked into something better. Not the beach. Not a bar. A lawyer's office. Downtown. Because the night before, I sat at my own table, in my own home, surrounded by people I fed, and listened to them toast him. My wife's ex, Ethan. His name floated through red wine and candlelight, like it belonged there, like he still belonged to her. They raised their glasses. Her sister smiled. To real men, she said. They all laughed, even my wife, especially her. That's when I didn't feel rage. I felt clarity. I was done. 2 months earlier, I got promoted. Senior architect. 6 years of late nights, overtime, site dust, and cheap coffee. Finally something to show. Monica, her sister, muttered under her breath. They must have been desperate. My wife just smiled. Tight-lipped. Polished. Empty. No defense. Just silence wearing a mask. I brushed it off. Family humor, right? That's what they call it when they break you slowly. And pretend it's love. There was a time she'd meet me at the door. Bare feet, paint on her shirt, stories in her eyes. We dreamed together. Portugal, maybe. Her galleries, my buildings. But then the silences changed. Her phone always face down. Her passwords changed. Her gym obsession became daily ritual. I made excuses. Until that dinner. Until she said his name like it was a wish. Ethan always had drive, she said. Ethan, the guy who ghosted her for a model. Ethan, the mistake, she once called him. Tangled in my arms, half asleep. That night, I didn't argue. I didn't speak. I grabbed my coat. Left. An hour later, her text. You're overreacting. Just a joke. Next morning, no work. I drove to the law firm. The documents I'd been collecting for a new property, reproposed. Now they'd be ammunition. The mortgage? In my name. The car? On my credit. The savings? She knew of one, not the other. And the furnished downtown apartment? Lease paid a year in advance. She never asked. I never offered. People think revenge needs fireworks. Mine came with precision. Quiet. Surgical. A PI took just 3 weeks. Photos. Logs. Hotel names. It wasn't just Ethan. Business lunches. Gallery trips. 1 weekend in Chicago. All on my dime. But I waited. I smiled. We watched shows. Ordered Thai. I kissed her head like nothing was unraveling. She giggled in her sleep. I wondered if he was the reason. Then came Friday. Another family dinner. Same house. Same wine. One final act. I played host. Refilled drinks. Laughed at their bobs. Burnt the potatoes on purpose. Everyone laughed. I did too. Then I stood. Tapped my glass gently. To my wife, I said. She smiled that same rehearsed smile. I continued. And to Ethan. Hope the hotel beds were comfy. Silence. Monica stopped chewing. Her father coughed up his drink. My wife stood. Can we speak privately? I nodded. We will. Handed her the folder. Thick. Manila. Divorce papers. Photos. Dates. Transactions. In the hallway, she panicked. It didn't mean anything, she whispered. I looked at her, like a blueprint, searching for flaws, and I saw all of them. You used to say everything without words, I said. I believed you anyway. She reached for me, caught nothing. You're being cruel, she said. No, I replied. I'm being exact. I walked back in. They didn't look at me. Monica stared into her wine like it could save her. I'm leaving tonight, I said. Don't worry, I packed weeks ago. Not a word, not a whisper. She called the next day, and the next. 12 more after that. Blocked. Final message. You're heartless. I smiled, because finally, after everything, I was. Now I wake up weightless. No tension in my chest. The apartment is quiet. The kind of quiet that doesn't lie. Coffee in peace. Contract signed. A flight to Portugal booked. Sometimes I still think of that dinner. The roast. The laughter. The moment the truth cracked the air like glass. They say revenge is best served cold. Mine was warm, plated, and aged perfectly. When they toasted him, they had no idea. I was already drinking to the end. And that morning, I didn't go to wake. I started over.